All right, Missouri State, New Mexico State. We've got Missouri State 1.5-point road favorites, 52 being the total in this game. Note that with these Conference USA weeknight games, last week it seemed like both teams playing each other were off a bye. This week it looks like a lot of these games, one team's off a bye and the other team isn't. And we've got another one of these situations here. New Mexico State played last week against Liberty, heartbreaking loss, 30-27 to Liberty. But New Mexico State, I said New Mexico State still might be worth a look. I don't trust Liberty as double-digit favorites, and they proved me why in that game last week. But tough loss for Logan Fife and the New Mexico State Aggies. They probably should have won that game, but unfortunately Liberty gets the game-winning touchdown with 36 seconds. It was a pretty good game from Logan Fife. No mistakes, 242 through the air. They were able to move the football pretty good. They chipped in a little bit on the ground as well. But unfortunately, and what New Mexico State, what concerns me about New Mexico State here is, there was 2 interceptions and a lost fumble for Liberty. So Liberty turned it over 3 times, and Liberty was still able to overcome that and win the game. Yeah, Ethan Vasco for Liberty turned it over twice, and then they had a lost fumble as well. So when you're losing games where the other team turns it over 3 times, that's not a good sign normally. Here for New Mexico State. So, I do worry about that. For Missouri State, Deuce Bailey was the quarterback last week in place of Jacob Clark, who's still been out due to injury. Now, Ryan Beard, the head coach, says Jacob Clark should be back here. At least last I heard is that they were aiming for after the bye week to get him back for this game against New Mexico State. And, of course, they're off a bye, Missouri State. So this could give them an opportunity to get Jacob Clark, their number 1 quarterback, back on the field here in this game. And that's significant because New Mexico State's a little bit worse against the pass so far this season. They actually have decent yards per rush numbers defensively, New Mexico State, against the run. But this is another team that throws the ball more than runs it, Missouri State, that is. So if they get Jacob Clark, I think they can move the football here through the air on this New Mexico State secondary. I like Missouri State in this spot. The only thing I'm holding out is waiting for, I should say, is Jacob Clark's confirmed status. I think he is going to play. The coach sounded like he'd be good to go after the bye. And if he's in there, I think anything less than a field goal off the bye week. I know it's in Las Cruces, road game here from Missouri State, and I think they can get this victory here coming off the bye week. And I also hate the spot for New Mexico State in that they not only are they facing a team CMAC off a bye week, but they are through, they've had some tough games. They've had to play New Mexico, they had to play Louisiana Tech. They have this gut-wrenching loss at Liberty last week, and it may not be easy to rebound from a loss like that here for the Aggies. So I think Missouri State's sitting in a pretty good situational spot here, and I think they have the matchup edges if Jacob Clark returns at quarterback, because the secondary is the weak link of the New Mexico State D. What do you think here, Connor, with Missouri State, New Mexico State?
To touch on the D, that's both, I think, issues with both these defenses. And they're both going to want to throw it, both teams, especially if Clark, even if Clark doesn't play. Yeah. But, both these teams throw it well. It's kind of weird to see New Mexico State just a team that chucks it now, and we know that with Missouri State. So I think this game's pretty even. I think this line is pretty sharp. What I have to say, New Mexico State, we've talked about it last week with Liberty. This team's good. A little bit they had been bad as a road dog. Now they're catching 11 last week. But where they've been great for me here the last years is at home. I know they're barely a dog here, but I've wanted to back them. You talked about it. Missouri State off the bye in this game. Clark would be a huge bump for them. But I can't back them. I don't want to back them on the road. I just don't want to do it. And one thing, though, this game could be close. I think we've already seen some close games with these teams, especially Missouri State. So, this one could come down to the wire here. And when you think about it, that both these teams throw it, and I wanted to check how fast Missouri State playing here. I have it pulled over here.
Missouri,
because they both want to throw it.
They both want to throw it, there's no doubt, but neither team is a blazer as far as pace is concerned.
I knew New Mexico State wasn't.
Missouri State's 97th, and I know New Mexico State here, hasn't been exact. Yeah, they're 64th, so the pace is going to be a little below average but both teams will throw more than run. And the total's 52. So it's going to be one of these games where the pace isn't going to be off the charts. But if both teams can throw successfully and both teams are weaker defensively against the pass, you could get efficiency, at least enough efficiency to still get close to, if not up and over 52. Don't love the total, but I think it could maybe.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm going to sit on it here the next couple of days. But, yeah, I lean here New Mexico State. I think that's the only way to look. And we'll see. I don't know if it moves much with Clark. I think they're expecting him back.
Yeah,
with
I
this
think he
line.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he is. I think he is for sure. It sounded like it.